An empty parking structure, a very fast car, and permission to drive on it? How could anyone say no? You know what? That was just as much fun as I'd always dreamt it would be. And if you've never thought about doing that, then there's no way you have an automotive pulse anywhere in your body. But you know, the new Camero ZL1 does have 580 horsepower. So this is a little bit confined, you might say. So we're going to find somewhere where we can really stretch its legs. And also, someone just called the cops. So I thought it's probably time I told you a little bit more about the Camero ZL1 2013 model. This is, for now anyway, the Mac Daddy of Camaros, and people know it. Fans of the car, or fans of muscle cars in general, just immediately recognize her and want to have a chat about it. And with due reason too, because it is really quite spectacular to look at. What they achieve with the dimensions of the car, it really feels lower and wider than nearly anything else. And what they achieve by that is make her look fast when she's standing still, which of course is half the idea of the design team. And it's not just for show. The aerodynamicists did a very solid job here. It actually has positive downforce across the whole car. As a point of reference, the Camaro SS creates negative downforce. So they really need it as well. It's capable of doing 180 miles an hour. And a lot of that downforce actually comes from the front spoiler here, which is, it looks like a racing one, it's so significant. But the heart and soul of any Camaro lies under here, 6.2 litre supercharged V8, 580 horsepower, 556 foot-pounds of torque. And as sort of a nice nod to that, they put a carbon fiber hood vent here and the ZL marking down the sides. Like I said before, it's sort of the tires, the bodywork, the roofline, all give the car the appearance of being very purposeful and fast with a lower roll center, which is very important when you have that much weight up. And obviously quite fittingly, it has a very hefty Brembo brake package, 14.6-inch front rotors, 6-piston calipers at the rear, 14.4, 4-piston calipers, and I can tell you from personal experience, they do work very well. Then again, part of that aerodynamic package at the rear here, you have a little rear spoiler. But perhaps for me, the thing I like most about the rear of the ZL1 is the twin exhaust there. And it's not just the way they look, it's the way they sound. And they're actually dual mode, so they adjust according to the engine revs. And you can almost hear it. It's like the car's coming on cam and wah, makes an amazing noise. Now, they've done a great job on the outside, and inside, they carry it on. Now, many of you will remember, it was 1969 that we first saw a Camaro ZL1 hit the market, and it was just an instant success. And that's why it's so important, isn't it, that all these years later, they're able to continue all those bloodlines of performance, noise, basically being a bad arse. What they've done here in 2013 is create one that has all those traits and almost tributes to the original, but with the modern blended technology. I think it'd be very hard to find something as good as this for the money. When you get it somewhere proper like a racetrack, you're in for a really pleasant surprise. Because what I did, based on my road going experiences, was immediately turn every system off. But that proved actually to be the wrong thing to do, because as soon as I did that, the way the system's setting up, everything's a little softer, and the car was almost too compliant, and with all the horsepower, she was flicking around, was getting wheel spin. So I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to put it in full race mode. Now there's 5 settings to the active suspension and traction control, and you put it into race mode and it still allows you to have a degree of intervention from the traction control. But what it does, it increases those thresholds to a very tolerable level. And with the electromagnetic suspension, really puts them at the top of their game. So the minute you drive fast, it's just so well behaved, but in that I'm going to get a fast lap time way. Which in this day and age of, hey, let's just go sideways everywhere, you know, you've got to remember that to be a good race driver and to go fast on a racetrack, you actually want to limit the amount of time you spend sideways. And what all that means is that when you're in race mode, it really provides a brilliant platform for the ZL1. Mid-corner here, the car takes that set, the platform is stable as I call it, and from that point you can just launch yourself, propel out of the corner. I mean, that's a lot of horsepower, a lot of torque, and yet if you're balanced and controlled getting to the midpoint of the corner, you can bloody get on it as hard as you want. Look at that. On the nose of the car, if you modulate the brake, balance the throttle, I mean, it's almost like finding out that someone who knows how to barn dance can throw in a bit of Bolshoi ballet in the middle. Speaking about the brakes, it's got 14.6-inch Brembos on the front, 6-piston calipers, and absolutely slams the car to a stop. Just like I go down the hill here. Boom! I mean, you can feel the ABS coming in, just chirping away, reminding you that you're right at the limit of what the car wants to do. Because she is a little porky. I mean, it's a big piece of muscle here. But as I said, I mean, I'm genuinely, pleasantly excited and surprised that she's this good. Gosh, she just motors up. You feel if you didn't lift off, you'd take off. In so many ways, the ZL1 is exactly what a muscle car should be. It's got all the fine points of strength and making you feel good with the refinements of modern technology. And it's really a very good track car for the money. And of course, on the road, it makes you feel cool and fast, as it should.
Check back each week for more on your eBay Motors mobile app.